time for the Too Much Dip podcast. My name is Dave. I'll be hosting today. Joining me in studio, Dylan Shivery.
It is a dark and stormy day here in Austin, Texas. Got your boy feeling right. It's a vibey day out there. I kind of love it. Kind of love it for a Monday. Don't love it for a Friday. Love it for a Monday.
A little Stormy Daniels can go a long way.
I agree, Dave.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Just check the radar. Looks like it's pretty much cleared out.
Parks has a playoff game tonight at 7 o'clock. Not sure if it's going to be in play or not. We'll wait and see. Wait and see.
They don't have an indoor or like a retractable roof?
Do not have a retractable roof, unfortunately.
A little baller shit, huh?
Yeah, it's a little ballish, yeah.
Randy Trimbacki's producing.
Hi, Dave.
Okay. Hey, here's a guy. Here's a guy who's in Wisconsin. We're going to ask him about the weather. It's KJ.
Pleasure to be here, fellas. You guys heard about this Drake Kendrick Lamar beef?
Why don't you fill
Up
us
on
in?
this? I was asked over the weekend by my 23, 22-year-old sister-in-law if I was familiar with this beef. And I quickly folded. I was like, I mean, I'm aware. I hear of it immediately. It was like anything I say of significance is just going to be flat out false. Fact check.
I'd like to
blame.
Can I direct her to the RBP, the Ross Bowen podcast, where the two guys that everybody wants to hear from, breaking this beef down, me and Ross, we did it. We broke it down.
I have a very generic comment to make about the beef. So, I mean, I think the consensus is that Kendrick won the beef. Like, he won the battle. He destroyed Drake. I will have to say that the Drake song "Family Matters" is actually like really listenable. Like it's just a song. I mean, it's good. I can't say that for the Kendrick ones. It's just like talking shit over a beat, basically, and that's just my opinion.
The numbers say otherwise. In fact, Not Like Us is probably, if it's not already, will be Kendrick's biggest hit. It will definitely be his biggest club hit. And the streaming numbers are insane.
Okay.
But Family Matters was Drake's best offering. I agree with that for sure. I thought Push-Ups was bad. I thought the other one was bad. The one where he kind of gave up was really, really bad and really bizarre. But you're not wrong. Family Matters is well done.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that Kendrick dropped like 30 minutes after it was tough, real tough for Team Drake. And then, yeah, Not Like Us is, I think, really, really good. But I think that's a very reasonable take to have.
Okay. Thanks, Dave.
And I know you're a Drake guy.
I am.
You are.
I'm a Drake guy.
You are a Drake guy.
He's got some good music, man.
KJ, did that really help, what we just did there?
It was tremendous from the creator and producer of Dylan's Thug Plug. It was great to get his opinions on it. I think the headline is Family Matters is a song. I think that was the quote I took away from it.
A song.
Although I agree.
I get it.
Music song.
You know what I mean?
I'll admit, like, I couldn't pick it out of a lineup. I've probably heard Twitter segments of the majority of these songs. So I don't say that as any critique of the expertise that was just displayed.
I'm waiting for the real hip hop heads to like get a hold of a clip of me and Ross, like just really going at it and just meme us into oblivion. Just like some 40-year-old guy about to be 40 with a backwards hat, like, well, I think here's where Kendrick really scored some points.
A backwards hat and a mustache.
God, I hope
Yeah.
you get like Stitch aggregated.
Oh God.
It's like you get so many Stitch replies. Or, it could go the other way. You could get Nardaward, like, all of a sudden you and Ross are like the experts and have like credit amongst like, you're the dissect of beef breakdowns. Who knows? This could go one of two ways.
You mentioned Dissect, so that was a big player in my prep, the Dissect pod, because first of all, he does a great job. I'm going to give a free shout out, a sneaky shout out to the Dissect pod, which I heard for the first time when he went through like line by line the entire Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy Kanye album and broke it down. And essentially all he does is plays a little bit of it and says, this is where Kanye was at that time. This is why, this is what this line means. he breaks it down. Like it's very, very, I mean, it's the most in the weeds you could ever be about a song. He did that for Kendrick's Euphoria, and then they did a second episode of just the entire beef. And it's very helpful if you want to spend 90 minutes learning about the beef. He had a couple guys from the Ringer on, and it's a good podcast, so check it out. Anyway, Dylan, let's give a shout out to our good friends at Rowback.
Ooh. I just looked down to see if I was wearing a Rowback because I typically am. I'm not right now. However, Dave is. Dave's got the polo on. We love Rowback so much. They have the best polos in the game. New designs are getting released seemingly every day. They stay on top of it. The hoodies are fantastic. They have golf shorts out now called the Loopers, which are actually, you know what? I am wearing those.
Are you wearing the Loopers?
Believe it or not, I have those on. Randy wants me to stay up. Don't tell me to stay up, Randy. I'm wearing them, okay?
I'm the producer. I'll tell you what to do.
They have a women's line out now, too, by the way, which I haven't tried on, but I'm sure they're great.
Who models it?
Women. Swim trunks, too. They do everything, and it's all top-notch quality. We love their stuff. Washed 20. Washed 20 will get you 20% off your order, and that is a one-time use code, so load that card up. Washed 20.
Well.
I should watch like how much I'm admiring the models from the Rowback site as I'm talking to two individuals who have modeled for Rowback. Like I might be like overreacting to somebody who's like, oh yeah, that's Stacy. Like you both might know her.
You're being very generous saying we both have, because I seem to remember me not getting, I don't really get the model Instagram time as much as Dylan. Definitely not as much as his son. Not as much as Brett. They
Fair.
really basically have not used much of me, and that's fine. I get it. I'm not mad about it.
It is a nice little treat when I log into Instagram and I see my face staring back at me from a Rowback ad. It's kind of cool.
You know what else is kind of cool? Major championships.
Yes.
Can we do that real quick? Can we
Yes.
talk PGA Championship?
Ooh, let's click into the odds here and see what we're working with.
These odds, of course, are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. It's the only
These
place to get your
odds.
odds. How about that? Shocked to see Scotty top the odds? No, you're not.
Of course
Don't be
not.
silly. Don't
Of
be
course
silly.
not.
KJ, you were saying you were worried about how fatherhood would affect his golf. Go ahead and elaborate.
Well, I was actually going to lead off because we've already plugged one other podcast. We might as well also mention one that's been recently added to the Wash Media Network here. For the very few out there who didn't pay attention to their socials, didn't listen to Circling Back, the Dumb Zone podcast, hosted by Jake Kemp and Dan McDowell, pointed out something the other day, which I'm going to ask you if it's still true or not. Has Scotty actually had his baby? Because I didn't realize that as of whatever event was going on a week or two ago, he had not yet become a father. We talked about this all Masters that he would leave, but it wasn't as if she was like imminently due.
Yes. He is now a legit father. Happened
Okay.
a week or so ago, I want to say. So it's a fresh one. But yes, he is now a father.
Fresh babby.
Yeah.
So within 2 weeks, I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah. Like, I think this would affect him more than 2 weeks prior than like oh, hey, is she head to the hospital? Like, I think that grind boy mode is a lot different than 2 weeks post. Like, dumb as it sounds, I think that there's going to be an emotional toll. His head might not all be there.
I think it's
So,
going to change his perspective on life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be like, I don't think it's really, if I win or lose, it doesn't matter. She's going to go out there and play his game.
Yeah. Before he had the kid, he was the most dad vibey non-dad on tour. Like he just looks and acts like a dad.
Like a 48-year-old dad.
Yeah. I get the impression from him, and it might be total bullshit. I think he's going to be like a very hands-on, like, no, I'll get up with the baby at 3 a.m. if I have to. So maybe not sleeping great. Maybe, I don't know. It's time to catch up, I guess, before he actually,
Yeah.
hits a tee box on Thursday. But
So that's interesting you bring that up. I would love to know which athletes are hands-on with that kind of stuff. Like Luca has a baby that often gets forgotten about. And I'm wondering, it's really funny to think about Luca getting up and like tending to
yeah,
a newborn. That funnier than Scotty because Luca's a 6'8" point guard,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just funny
I
to
don't
think
know why,
about.
like imagining Lucas shush a baby, just like, like he seems like he'd be real patient until it's like time to like tell the baby to chill.
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear him talk about that, but you gotta love Scotty. I'm kind of hoping for the. So we got defending champion Brooks Koepka, right? I want Brooks Scotty. I want it bad. I want Brooks Scotty in the final group. That would be nothing would be sicker, I think. Maybe throw Rahm in there too, but Brooks and Scotty would be the one.
Yeah, we have Rory second favorite at plus 700.
Coming off an all-time fucking ass whipping
Coming
of Xander
off
Schauffele.
a very impressive fourth round to just run down Xander.
I don't want to dunk on Xander too much, but fuck all-time just turd. What the fuck?
You got stuffed in a locker.
The back nine, one of the worst performances you'll see. Tied going into the back nine, right? And shout out Rory, just went silly on him, and Xander just pulls down his pants, lays the little baby turd,
and
then just like, that's what he said. That's what I heard on the microphone. That's how I felt about it. Anyway, his fourth victory at the Wells Fargo, pretty impressive stuff. No,
Is it?
That is, yeah, that's very impressive stuff. Okay, Jay, I thought you had something.
I'm gonna ask location. No. I wanted to confirm because I feel like we do hear, not that the Wells Fargo isn't an important tournament, but like for some reason you'll have golfers that just have success at a certain course or at a certain event, and they run the score up. But
Quail Hollow.
Speaking of defending champion, Quail Hollow. Speaking of consistency from event to event, I'm sure it's casual golf fan idiot response, but like it's just strange to me to like look to Brooks as the defending champion at a completely different course. Does that make any sense? Like, I know that it's how we approach these events, but when it moves locations entirely, like it completely changes the event to me. Like, I don't know.
You're giving less. You're not giving as much weight to it as if it would be like the defending Masters champ, which is obviously in the same location.
Correct.
Got it.
Correct.
That's
So like,
I
want to know
fair.
like both Brooks won this last year, but also this was the most recent champion at this course at Valhalla, right? Is that where we're going
Valhalla. Mm-hmm.
this week? Yeah.
Was Rory the
So-
last winner at Valhalla? I think he was. Sorry, KJ. You put me
I
on
can
the
tell
spot.
you. No. I have the page up. I should have come equipped with it, but I was just struggling to just
Rory
spit
McIlroy.
out whatever the hell it was I was saying.
2014
Yes, Rory
champ.
in 2014.
Of course, doesn't really show up in majors these days. I hate to say about my mans.
A real cock tease. Teases your cock. You know what I mean?
13 years since he's won a major, something crazy like that. Is
So-
that right?
Decade. Well,
wait.
2014. That was the last one.
It would be
Valhalla.
I was supposed to be just this one.
Oh, it was at
Yeah.
Valhalla.
So
Okay,
a fucking
there you go.
a decade basically, and
10 years.
that was different. You didn't have Blocky in the field, so does it really even count?
Are we going to get overblocked again?
You're gonna get blocked.
Okay.
You're gonna get blocked, big time blocking. He's back, okay, and he's different. He's had a year to reflect. He's realized maybe I didn't have to take every interview. Maybe I didn't have to speak so off the cuff and feign shock and excitement when I find out I'm in a group with Rory.
Wow.
Maybe I didn't have to do all that, but he's back in the mix. KJ, I mean, are you putting a little money? You sprinkling a little bit on Blocky?
He's plus 500,000 to win the tournament.
You got to sprinkle a little bit, no?
Get your beak a little wet, KJ. And that is tied for the worst
Did you guys
odds.
know that they handed him the trophy first before they handed it over to Brooks? Like, and that he actually had Masters points or major points, whatever it was. I hope, like, if I'm him, I claim injury and I go straight to like guest announcer. Like, I want to just be like, you know what, put me in the booth this year. Let this blow over so I don't like reinforce just how shitty things have been since then. cut at every other major he's been at, with the exception of finishing tied for 15th last year.
Hey,
Like, come on, man.
why has Liv not dropped a bag on block? Like, why is that not a thing? Right? Maybe I missed this completely, but if you're Liv, you've given the bag to Anthony Kim. Shout out, not doing great, but let's let him give him a chance. Get back situated. Tournament golf. Slide Blocky a little bag, a little something.
Is he
You
a
got to
draw?
think that he,
I don't know.
Is he a draw?
I'll probably do it if I'll follow it for the bit.
So okay.
like, you
so
got to
obviously,
think that he might be the type that would shoot it out, like shoot them down based on prior funding issues. I feel like Block might,
Staying on
have
business.
some standing on moral ground business situation. Yes.
so it's been a full year since Blockmania. It was at the PGA Championship last year, right? Or was it? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
God.
he's back, man.
Has he upgraded
The
his hat
sports
yet?
media cycle. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to ask if he upgraded his hat yet from the whatever the hell it said on his hat last year.
Yeah, it said raw and big those big letter
In
hats.
6-inch font.
We're gonna look back in a decade. People want to get mad at like Jason Day for the Malbon stuff. We're gonna look back at the tall font on the hats and be like, God damn, dude.
What was this? What were we
Well,
doing?
We're running this out there, huh? Come on, man. Speaking of Jay Day, did y'all get a chance to see the fit? The linen?
Yeah, I did.
This is kind of the vibe I was getting from it. I don't know if you're watching at home, but it's just kind of like
I'm not sure how well linen plays on a golf course, but someone who is not very fashion forward like myself, I can appreciate what he's doing, and it was a solid fit. A lot of people loved it.
I don't know if I'm playing in it,
No,
but it looked great on him, I have to say.
Yeah.
And the braided belt, a little long, hanging down, like a little flaccid belt,
yeah,
a little flaccid out the loop.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
I don't know. KJ, what are your thoughts on Lennon on the golf course? We don't know if he ever actually played. We don't know if Trotsky played. It wasn't really their thing. It's more of like a bourgeois game.
Thank you. Well done. I will not tell the people that you would think he had a shot early. There's something about the look that, like, David, you've probably seen this, speaking to like my high school and junior high existence, of like, that braided belt speaks two different languages for me. Super chill, or this person might fight you at any given moment, because the existence of that belt, like as far as I knew, was one that was worn by people who likely had to hand the belt down within their family, and like junior highs that I attended, because you could just lace it at any point in time in size. But it was also a part of like the look that later would be known for, like, I don't know, white tees would be like the look 5 years later.
Yep.
Certain demographic people would be wearing this, a polo, maybe even some Fat Farm with Fat Albert on it, with the braided belt, and some white Air Force Ones eventually. And that person certainly would be willing to fight you. So I see that belt in public and I'm like, fuck. It's like black Air Force Ones. I'm not fucking with it.
Yeah, but like braided belts in 2024, if someone with a braided belt whips your ass in 2024, that's something your boys are not going to let you live down probably forever, because I think it's a different type of person wearing them these days. Someone who plays golf in linen, for example.
Yeah, that's
Maybe need to see one of y'all at Austin Country Club with like one raised pant leg. Like, let's see how far we can go with this. Like, just borrow like one item from early 2000s culture and see what plays.
some Timbs. Got some Timbs on. Got my jean rolled up.
It just takes one guy to branch out like this. Remember when Ricky started wearing joggers? What was it, like 5 years ago? And everyone was like, "Oh my God, joggers don't belong on a golf course. You look so stupid." And now, like, no one even cares. Like, no one cares.
No one cares. There's one dude who wears them. Is it South African dude,
Rose?
Eric Van Rooyen? Somebody wears them and they look terrible because there's a lot of like ankle showing, like skin, and it just looks weird. But yeah, no, I remember people being very upset about
Yeah.
that look. But But now we're going a different direction. It's moving back the other way. We're going into some more comfortable fabrics.
We're taking some fashion
have
risks
to-
out there.
I don't know why I keep looking away every time Dylan's about to speak, but I'm just like completely wrecking this into the wall.
You're good, KJ. Don't worry
We
about
have to acknowledge that the hat risked breaking the entire fit. This is a moment where Dylan's Panamanian hat could have served him well. He needed some like Jurassic
Ooh.
Park fucking vibes on the hat, and the Strixon fucking baseball
Wow.
cap let him down.
it. A Panama hat would have set that outfit into a different stratosphere. You're right. That's a good call. That's a good call from KJ.
I could support that.
That is a good one.
It's like we haven't seen that since like Chichi Rodriguez. No one's doing the Panama hat on the course. It would be funny if somebody did like a what's my hat that I wear in the Nordstrom hat? Fedora.
It's like a top hat, but it's like a miniature version. It's like it has like a 2-inch brim on it.
Yeah.
It's atrocious, but you look very handsome in it.
Yeah, someone needs to bring that out.
No.
Come on. I'm gonna call it. I like Morikawa this week.
Okay.
There it is. There's my pick. I'm not happy about it. I'm not a Morikawa fan. I like the pick. And if not him, then give me no Xander up there with the third best odds, dude. Did they not watch last week? He's not bouncing back. Let's make it fun. Let's go DeChambeau.
Is Ludwig ready to break through finally?
That's a great pick.
He's gonna win multiple majors. He has such a pure swing and strikes the ball so well. I love watching that dude play, even though he went to Texas Tech. He's gonna win one within the next couple of years. I don't know if it's gonna be this weekend, but he's prime.
KJ, I'm gonna give me your official pick for Valhalla.
Plus 7,000 for your boy Spieth. Like,
Don't.
He didn't have it.
Dude, just don't waste your time, dude.
He gets the Masters bump because he's won there and
Yeah.
he plays well at the Masters, but even then it's like, well, he doesn't belong in the top 5. Like
This would be the career Grand Slam. He does not
Oh.
have a PGA,
oh, okay.
but he's still
You
not
know?
winning.
And the one headline is Jordan Spieth unsurprised by lukewarm response to his Grand Slam hopes is the headline, when searching Jordan Spieth. So,
You're like,
yeah, he's
I've
not
been
that
bad.
confident either.
Look, it hasn't been great.
Have we talked Blades Brown yet, or did we do all this pre-show? Because I've got an image of this young fella on my screen, and it's
Yeah.
going to raise my blood pressure, and
So-
I don't know if it's good or bad.
Blades Brown. It has an incredible name. First of all, Blades Brown, 16-year-old who made the cut this weekend at Myrtle Beach in a PGA Tour event. Blades Brown also handles himself very well in front of a camera. If I was 16 years old on a in a scene like that, I'm locking up. The dude, he's impressive, and of course his name is Blades Brown.
Low
He
key
kinda
nice with
looks
it.
like a young Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan, who famously made the cut at the Byron Nelson in high school. He was probably 16. Interesting.
Like, are you getting any of those vibes from looking at this fella? Like,
Yeah.
generic in a lot of ways, but I definitely don't know that at the ages of 16 to 24, I would have trusted my girl around young Blades Brown. Good looking dude.
He fired a 66 on was it Saturday?
Yeah, good for him. 32 on the back. This kid's low key nice with it.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be seeing a lot from Blades Brown.
Where's he from?
Oh man.
I don't know.
I should have it. I'm looking for it, and I'm just not seeing it. All I'm seeing.
All things are pointing to Florida coast or somewhere like Sea Island or something.
His dad's name is Park with an E at the end. Park Brown. Sick.
Okay.
What? Blades. Very cool.
Oh, big Tebow guy. This kid.
Oh, he's
all
named
right.
he's named after his mother, whose middle name is Blades. Rhonda Blades Brown.
Fuck,
Oh,
all these
Rhonda
names are
Blades?
sick.
That's sick.
Dude.
What a family, man.
Okay.
How about it?
Good for him.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of the Timberwolves Nuggets game y'all caught yesterday, but the last 20 seconds of the first half, when you've had an entire half. So take some background for people who have not been following this series. Timberwolves like boat raced the Nuggets 2 games in a row, like embarrassed the Nuggets on their court in game 2. Nuggets come back, win game 3. Nuggets are up, dominating this game. I think they're up like 10 or something, 8 maybe, going into the half. And there's like 25 seconds left. Nuggets have the ball. Contavious Caldwell Pope hits a 3. So hits a 3, 20 seconds left. Timberwolves inbound the ball. Anthony Edwards, who's been just balling, he's phenomenal. Had a great game yesterday. Brings it up, gets the ball, turns it over. Bad turnover. Outlet pass, layup. There's 5 points. So you had that 3, then you had that 2. There's 1 point. There's 2 seconds left, basically. The Timberwolves try to inbound the ball, and it gets turned over, and our guy hits it from 3/4 of the court.
Jamal Murray.
Yeah, Jamal Murray. I just said our guy. He's not our guy. I don't even like the guy. He's a great player, though.
Oh, shit.
So 8 points in 20 seconds. And it was the most demoralizing thing I've ever seen. And it's in Minnesota in front of their fans. And I can't imagine. I would probably leave the game. I would be so disgusted that just went down. 8 points, 20 seconds. To see Jamal Murray drain one from beyond half court, and you're just looking around like, okay, you're feeling okay, 8, 9 points, 10 points even going into the third quarter, doable.
7.
You've seen a number of teams come back from much bigger deficits. But at that point, it's over.
Shades of Tracy McGrady, who, of course, scored 13 points in 35 seconds
Oh, my God,
in
yeah.
one game, that was just one player doing it.
That was insane. Reggie Miller had one, obviously a real famous one.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, dude, that's got to be the worst vibes going into halftime you could ever have, outside of like your star player getting stretchered out of there or shitting himself and getting rolled out of there in a wheelchair. Those are just real bad vibes.
Ejected off some like bullshit second technical, like arguing with the ref, like right before half or something ridiculous. It's weird because the way that the Timberwolves dominated game 1 and game 2 and the amount of attention that Anthony Edwards had garnered, like they rolled in, swept their first round. So they were just chilling because they beat the piss out of the Suns. So there was a lot of time for the Anthony Edwards hype train to build up momentum. And then they roll in and beat the Nuggets back to back. And it only continued from there. I'm not saying like this is all throwing cold water on it, losing back to back to the Nuggets, because like everybody expected them to be there. But almost like the critique that the Timberwolves might be receiving, or that nobody's critiquing Anthony Edwards. He put up 40 something yesterday. Might be a little unwarranted. Like had this shaken out any other way, like the series gone 1-1, 1-1, everybody'd be chill. But because they were up 6-0 in all their wins, and now they're, lost back to back and this kind of shit happens, like, fuck, that's a tough existence.
And Joker and Jamal Murray look back in form, and the defending champs. And
Aaron Gordon's
hitting
11
some
of 12
shots, dude. I was really impressed with that guy. I don't know. I don't know if you guys are following the other series. I mean, we can talk a little Mavs. We got a big one tonight.
Following the Pacers Knicks. I said this might be fun, and that was kind of just because I would enjoy like the highlights of
it is fun.
Spike Lee talking shit and Reggie Miller and all that, but like I find myself hating and rooting for Jalen Brunson and the Knicks constantly.
Me too. I really do too. And it's fun. It is fun, especially if you're online, because Knicks fandom, especially on Twitter, is really, really fun. And Knicks fandom, when the series moves back to New York, is going to be really, really fun again. And yeah, I mean, they're completely depleted. Jalen Brunson, I don't think anybody from Dallas has like a bad thing to say about him. I don't think anybody blames him for how that all went down with him leaving. I think the heat was more on Cuban on that deal. But I also don't hate Rick Carlisle. And I do kind of like the Pacers just because, I don't
Yeah.
know, they're the Pacers, man. And
Halliburton and Siakam are likable guys.
yes, they are. So it is a really fun series, and I've been tuning in, and
DiVincenzo and Hart, not so much.
DiVincenzo is
Faces
fucking
you
nasty.
might not enjoy watching.
No, he's not. He's really frustrating, and I would really, really hate him if I was in a 7-game series and I was rooting for the other team.
So yeah, that's one I'm excited to see how it shakes out. I agree. I don't care what happens in the East. I don't care to see the Celtics come out of it. They've somehow found themselves tied up. Or is it just 2-1? I don't know if that's tied or not. Yeah, that's tied because I got stomped. But it would be really fun to see a finals in New York and see that fan base and every celebrity under the sun baseline against whatever team rolls out there. So
I got to say also
I'll
regarding
keep watching.
Dante DiVincenzo. Dylan, when you and Will had that bet about getting lined up or edged up, I feel like I'm kind of envisioning the Dante DiVincenzo is what you guys would get. Something like that. To where it's not like over the top, but it is like you understand what he's doing.
I'm looking up pictures of this young man now. Yeah, he's got
Any words that you might have freely used in high school if you were to see this fella coming through the parking lot?
I'm not going there.
Not
Not
me.
Nice try, my friend.
Not this guy.
That's a sick name, by the way.
Dante DiVincenzo.
Come on, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Look, the name Dante,
God.
I'll be honest, first time around when we found out we are having a boy, I kind of threw it out a little bit.
Dante
I love that name.
Ruff. It's kind of sick.
You know, it's a name it's crossed what's the word? It's cross-cultural. It's cross-cultural lines, and that's what I like about it.
1000%. Namesake of what was my favorite player of all time when he was popular, one Dante Culpepper.
Mm-hmm.
Things didn't pan out super well for the remainder of his career, but he had some fucking heater seasons.
He had some great seasons.
I love the Italians. I do. I love the Italians. Anyway, dude, Luka's we got zombie Luka in this Thunder series. And I've actually heard people be like, is he really that hurt? Like you see him on some plays laboring, and then on others you see him like running at full speed. And I think there's a lot of people who just don't understand how injuries work. They're like, oh, he was limping in the tunnel. Well, I just saw him out there on the court running. I'm like, yeah, like this is very straw man-y, and I'm honing in on a couple Thunder fans on Twitter, but yeah, he's fucking hurt. The dude is so banged up, it's not even funny.
There are times to turn up the heat when you're middle of a game action. And
Adrenaline.
There are times to save it. Like, okay, I can knock a limp and not put pressure on it while I'm just not playing the game. There's something there for sure.
That's why you see bikes on sidelines frequently to keep guys with the blood flowing, and the legs. Because you sit down, then the pain starts to seep in again. You're talking to a guy right now that I fought through a lot of injuries on the golf team. Remember, I had that plantar's wart on my left foot. Kept me out like 6 weeks in 9th grade. True story. Had to have it
It's
laser.
just
6
weird.
weeks?
It was fucking big,
That's,
dude.
that's quite a bit. It's weird watching a 25-year-old though. And like he's been in the league 4 years. This is year 4 or 5.
5th year.
But like because of his numbers and the way he plays, and because of how often he was compared to LeBron numbers wise and compared to like James Harden, like style of play wise, you kind of watch and forget that he's 25. And so like I see him and I'm like, that's the same way LeBron kind of manages his energy during a game. Some plays he's getting back, some plays not. And, whatever, I accept it. And LeBron's 13 years older or 14 years older. And it's just baffling.
Yeah, dude. I remember my 5th year. Actually, no, I don't. Right?
Jokic is only 29. Shit.
Who's 29?
Jokic.
It's pretty crazy, right? He's looked the
Not
same. He's looked the same since he was like 22. We don't have to spend too much time on the NBA. We need to talk about the
No,
important
that's-
stuff. Unless you got anything else on it, KJ.
Nope.
Oh. Well, we need to talk about how Major League Baseball players acquire their lady friends. Tyler Glasnow,
Yes, the Killian Murphy lookalike.
Killian Murphy, the Dodgers' own, former Rays great.
Yeah, he. It turns out he landed his girlfriend by spotting her in the stands. Well, actually, that's not even true. He spotted her in a picture, and with the help of the photographer, like zoomed in and like identified her or something, and then saw her at the next game and wrote his phone number on a baseball. Said, "Text me." Tossed it to her. The next game, she shows up with the baseball of her own and says, and throws it to him and goes and said, "No, you text me." He claims it's the first time he's ever done it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the guy's 6'8".
You're the only one, baby.
He's 6'8". He's very good looking. He's a professional baseball player. This has got to be like the most fun thing of all time to do shit like this.
I think it may have went down a little creepier than what you said too. I took it as he spotted her and he went over, sought out the team photographer, and he was like, "Hey, zoom in on her." And like they were,
Oh, is that what happened?
that's how I took it, and zoomed in on her like as she's at the game, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we gotta toss her. We gotta toss her."
I
Oh,
completely
crap.
misunderstood. That makes more sense. A lot more sense.
But anyway, yeah, like first of all, he's done this before. This would be probably if you're a single dude and
This is probably a known move amongst guys like this. Like, this is like how they do it.
someone noted out in the bullpen that this is how Verlander landed Upton,
Kate Upton.
Kate Upton.
Okay.
I almost said something else.
Of course, she was already a household name when they
Okay.
started dating.
Yeah,
This was just a hot babe in the stands.
just a hot babe in the stands.
Two things of note. Glasnow's with the Dodgers, which were the subject of the Super H video when they opened the season in Japan, if we recall, with the opening pitch and the players just full-blown mouth breathing.
Ah, yes. Truly a horny team.
So shouts to them for that. They are leading the majors in records, so things are good. And then also, David, you might have to help me here, or actually you'll have to help me here. Mavs legend Dirk Nowitzki accidentally told a story once about a teammate's father who would do something similar. Although I think they mentioned sharing of potential people, so I don't want to go to that route, but talked about like getting numbers from the crowd by like sending over a ball boy or a towel boy or somebody like adjacent to the bench and going to get numbers from people in the crowd like on the regular.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think the numbers are astronomical. I'd never heard of using the photographer though. Like that's pretty fucking nifty.
So he spots her from across the field. It's like, she might be attractive. I can't really tell. Uses the camera guy to zoom in to get a better look.
Verifies.
It could be a good from far, far from good situation. You understand, Randy?
I understand. Yeah.
By the way, a savvy move by her to be like, "Nah, you're the one who's got to text me."
But that's how you know. Like
That's
oh,
that's class.
that is. She wasn't too thirsty. She can play a little hard to get, make a little game out of it.
Yeah.
I looked into this. She is hot.
It's just fishing with dynamite at that point, you know.
He's 6'8". You look like Killian Murphy, who's famously like 5'6".
Throws 100 miles per hour.
You're throwing heat. Although the Rangers did knock you around in the playoffs last year. Now you're in LA. Whole new ball game. Literally. Good for him. Good for him. Unintentional Obama. Sorry about that. I don't know. How else would you go about it, though?
What's the football equivalent? Like, football's tougher. You don't get a good view of the crowd. You know, it's like the action is facing away from the crowd, and it's just a bunch of blue hairs in the front row anyway.
Unless, of course, your team walks through a nightclub on the way to the field.
That's true.
That's a great point.
As the Cowboys and maybe two other teams do now. You got to imagine, like, they're probably doing the bottled blonde approach. Like, you've got girls in miniature go-kart cars getting, like, crowd surfed to the front as players are walking through the tunnel. And so Micah Parsons is like, oh, yeah, who was the one in the little VW Jetta carrying the Ciroc? Let me get her number.
Girl,
That's
you
how it
want to
unfolds
come
for
to the
football.
blue tent?
What's that?
I'm seeing the picture of the girl at
Oh,
the
blue
game. Shouts to Glasnow in the sense of like, I don't want to make this more age than it needs to be.
Go ahead.
Believes nobody. Nobody will believe that. Either way, she's rocking like a jersey. This isn't like basketball where you get basketball thoughts showing up in the crowd, fully like dressed to be chosen. Pick me girls, if you will. Like she's just up there possibly scoring the game, wearing a Hideo Nomo jersey or some shit. Like,
Okay.
well done, Glasnow.
Hey, good pull on the Hideo Nomo ref.
I'm repaying a debt from a live stream that I will not go back and put my foot in my mouth again. But tried to pull Hideo Nomo and accidentally pulled a mass shooter's name. So
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you
so
did.
I'm repaying that one to society.
Yeah, I don't know. You have to think every team has a guy actively doing this. Every team, and it's got to be great if you're a pitcher because you pitch every 5 games, every 5 days or something. Like you have a lot of downtime. So, hell yeah, good for you, Tyler. You respectful lad, you. Derrick Lewis, the Black Beast, as he's known, the KO King. That's his nickname. Okay, I didn't make it.
I know it's his official title. Like it shows up headline of his, Google Wikipedia page. Just, give me like a verbal pause.
Well, he's the knockout king, okay? He had another knockout.
There we go.
Headlining the UFC fight night means it was free to everybody. Genius move by Dana. You put Derrick Lewis atop the card. You know you're going to see a knockout one way or the other. And he delivered against noted combatant Rodrigo Nascimento. Dylan, what are your thoughts on Rodrigo?
Not quite a household name. So he was just what do they call it? A tomato can in the business.
That's not completely fair, but look, this thing was going to go one way.
It was a knockout play.
It was absolutely a knockout play.
And then he showed everyone his behind.
He mooned them.
He pulled his trunks down.
Rodrigo is a Brazilian. He was 11-2, and I think he was like 15th in the ranking. So he was not like just like a random dude. And he's more of like I believe a jiu-jitsu specialist. Either way, not a tomato can, and no disrespect to him.
We're all signing up to see Derrick Lewis wrestle.
Yeah, then in those first couple rounds, I have to say were a little tough, and he was actually initiating the clinch quite a bit. But yeah, moons the crowd. You'll know Derrick Lewis from many viral moments.
My balls is hot.
Rips out the cup. My balls is hot. He's also he was repping Lil Woodrow's before Connor. He was saying after party Lil Woodrow's before Connor. Yeah, and not
Houston
only
native.
Yeah, Houston's own. Not only did he moon the crowd, but he ripped his cup out and tossed it to some guy at the media table, which got to think. You don't want that.
Holy shit. The fact that I read the entire story about the cup did not for a moment think that we were talking about Protect My Balls cup. Don't know why he would have had any other kind of cup, but apparently Dana White was asked by a reporter, the reporter who caught the cup or whatever it landed near, asked Dana White to autograph the cup. So it wasn't like, just kicked around like, that's gross. Like a bit was made out of this.
Yeah.
So I didn't think we were talking about Nuts Protection Cup.
Oh, you thought it was like just a cup, like hey, here's your Powerade, dude.
Waxy Powerade cup is what was coming to mind. Yeah.
No, this is the one that's got this one probably didn't smell great.
Why do they wear cups? I mean, surely it's not allowed to punch someone in the balls, right? Or knee someone in the balls. Is that allowed?
No. No.
Just
But
in
there's
case you catch a stray.
which happens quite a
Does it?
bit.
Okay.
Yeah, you catch
Mm,
somebody coming in for a kick or a knee. KJ.
Involuntaries is my guess.
Got it.
Like compression shorts are only doing so much. Like both of those things are probably true, but like I'm not trying to be the guy who, wins an event with a quarter chub the whole time or right after the event. Like I'm just popping full blown bone.
Why
While
would you?
Herb Dean's like holding my wrist.
Why would that be a thing?
Ring girls? I don't know.
Well, they are very pretty to me.
Ring guys? Who knows?
There's not ring guys. There should be.
Why not? Exactly.
Hey,
I
someone
don't
got
think Dana is going that route anytime soon.
no. That would surprise me. I guess. Yeah. No. The low blow, man. You get the low blow. They'll give you. I think they give you 5 minutes because you get somebody's like spinning back kick right to the nards, even with a cup. Like
5 minutes to recover, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can change a fight. Like if you're somebody who's been getting pieced up and you get a few minutes, or you just got not wobbled or stunned, and then you get that time, you use that to recover. Can totally change the complexion of a fight. But yeah, he threw it to the media guy, which you know what, man? Hey, I support journalism, and I don't think we should be attacking them by throwing our support devices at them. You know what I mean?
Shouts to Mizzou.
Yeah, we don't know
It's
if
a fantastic journalism program.
It is. It is. Famously. Gotta ask the question. Is Paul Skenes the new Riz King?
Ooh. He's locked down Livvy Dunne. So what does that tell you, Davey?
Fanned 7 in his major league debut
Yep.
for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
First overall pick of the Pirates, Paul Skenes. Turns out he has some ability to throw a baseball pretty well.
Pitched at LSU. Before that, actually, I didn't know this. Pitched at the Air Force Academy
Didn't
for
know
his
that
time
either.
at LSU. Yeah.
Mm.
And with Livvy Dunne.
Just one start in, already has the average fastest fastball in the big leagues, according to my sources, Brett, who shared that tidbit about an hour ago. So hopefully he's right and I don't look stupid.
To be young.
Livvy Dunne was at the game.
Oh, yeah.
She looked pretty good.
I'm new here and I'm not online. Who's Livvy Dunne?
Yeah, so Livvy Dunne, Dave, is a gymnast who attends currently still LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Finished her career, but yes.
Known for being, and this is not according to me, but according to people who are on the internet, very attractive young lady.
How many?
How many beers?
Yep.
Probably don't need that many. Just a few.
All right.
Just a few.
I'm glad you knew what he was asking because my idiot ass would have said, "Oh, I don't know, 5 million followers."
She's
I
like,
don't know.
is she a TikTok? Is she more of a TikTok? Speaking of followers,
Yes.
She's big on the talk, yeah.
8 million KJ.
On TikTok?
Well,
Yeah.
8 million on the talk, 5 million on the gram.
She loves the camera. The camera loves her back.
yeah, I've seen some talk about her maybe kind of stealing the show, maybe getting interrupting the moment for old Paul Skenes. He doesn't seem like he's a big charisma guy.
She was just there.
Yeah,
I mean, she was interviewed by, I guess, a local Pittsburgh news station, but she was just there and they put a camera in her face. Was she going to turn it down?
aesthetically speaking,
Had French fries on a sandwich yet? Is
Wait,
that their interview?
Hey, hold on. Who's here? Who's with us?
Is that a
Oh,
Pittsburgh
yeah,
thing?
this is Tom Smith from WPIT Radio. I'm just here with Livvy Dunne asking about her sandwich preferences. French fries, Primanti's, you had it? Is it not the best?
Whoa, where's this guy been? Is that a Pittsburgh delicacy?
Primanti Bros, yeah, they do the French fries, coleslaw, corned beef sandwich thing. It's decent. I'm not gonna hate on it.
All right.
As somebody who's supported the NL, we're gonna go with Central team, the Pittsburgh Pirates, in the early pandemic days on the MLB The Show. I've got nothing but love for the best stadium in the MLB and their city of Pittsburgh.
Look, aesthetically speaking, I love everything the Pirates are doing. I love their colors. I like that they match the other teams. I love the Pirate stuff. It's phenomenal. If I needed to pick up a team, an NL team, it would probably be the Pirates for just aesthetic reasons alone. The hat with the P on it that Chuck D used to wear, I love it. Looks great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and I love that Pittsburgh. All the teams have the same color scheme.
Indeed. Very cool. He is the new Riz King.
You're too kind.
Tyson Fury's dad. You guys are probably aware of this, but we've got ourselves a unification bout, a heavyweight battle with Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. You guys are probably already on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson Fury's dad got in a little scrum with Usyk's team and headbutted a guy. It didn't look like it did as much damage to the other guys it did to his own head. He did the classic headbutt. Looked like it got him on like the side of the face and cut his own forehead right in the middle, which is one of the dumbest places to get a cut.
A headbutt is such a gangster move. Like imagine someone starts a fight with you by just slamming their head into you.
Yeah, that's
It's
a guy
so
who
sick.
doesn't care about anything.
Yeah.
And I mean, because that can go wrong. You headbutt and you hit the wrong part of the head. Like you're the one.
You're supposed to use like the top of your forehead, right? Isn't that the hardest part of your skull? That's what I hear.
That's what they say.
Okay.
Eesh.
This fight needed it.
Looking at the photo of it, it's just not pretty. Not pretty at all. Usyk, Ukrainian.
Indeed.
Only mentioning that because obviously quite a bit on his plate. What is the guy's name that I'm completely struggling on? Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko.
Klitschko brothers.
Vasily Klitschko. Yeah, it blows my mind that that's not like headlines constantly on ESPN where it's like, oh, hey, I don't know, the most dominant heavyweight fighters of all time still just at war.
They
And
were
then potentially the next heavyweight champion, like also potentially at war at any given time. So
yeah, well, one of the
Shouts to
Klitschko
them.
bros was involved, like in the early invasion. Like I don't know, he was running. He was either a mayor or he was some sort of elected official at some point in Ukraine, and I don't know if he was
Vladimir.
fighting on the front lines or anything, but he was definitely a part of it. But yeah, I'm surprised the lamestream media hasn't made more of this Usyk stuff with the given the geopolitical crisis going down there. You understand, Randy?
Yeah, I get it.
Bronny. Before we get out of here, we gotta talk a little college hoops, and I want to talk Bronny real quick because Dylan gave me a combine update that kind of blew my mind.
He checked in at the combine. Bronny is a two guard? He's a two guard, I want to say.
I think they've got him at 2 or 3. Yeah,
listed at 6'4", the USC roster, and is believed to be around 6'4". Just a little over 6'1", turns out, at the combine. So the draft stock that was already fairly questionable, as he is not hadn't made much of a dent at the college ranks so far, now has to deal with being much shorter than originally believed. 6'1.5", turns out.
6'1's tough.
6'1's tough.
I mean, that's embarrassingly bad. So he's one of the guys in the TikToks that's like, hey, can I verify that height real quick? Let's go ahead and measure it. And he's like, nah, man. And just walks off. It's
Yeah,
hyper popular reels or whatnot. I don't know. If you get LeBron and Bronny in Dallas, are you going to be upset?
ooh,
LeBron has an opt out. He's going to opt out regardless, even if he stays in LA, because it just makes the most sense financially. The chatter for over 2 or 3 years is that he would schedule this so he had the choice of going somewhere where Bronny might be drafted. There's still a G League, but no more G League Ignite, correct?
right. There's a G League, but the Ignite has ended. Confusingly,
So he could go to a team with the G or stay with the Lakers, and like Bronny could just get a G League deal. What, you know what I mean? Like be drafted and be placed on the G League team. He's not going to get embarrassed every night.
Get
And
called
then
up
you're
for a
going to
few
say,
games.
hey, exactly.
Yeah.
And sell the shit out of some tickets to call him up for a night. Like dumber things have happened. See Tony Romo and the Mavericks. So
And it's
I don't care what happens. I just want to see the spectacle.
probably worth using one of your ladder picks for like a publicity play, even though I think the consensus is that he's not ready for the NBA and he might never be ready for the NBA. But if you
Don't
get
matter,
LeBron,
don't care.
if
I'll
you get
do it.
LeBron on the team, you call Bronny up for a couple games here and there to sell some tickets. Like, yeah, okay. Younger brother Bryce,
I
6'6",
love it.
however.
Age?
Yeah.
16, 15?
He is, I'm not sure how old he is. He's
If
16.
16.
if you are a 6'1", if you are under 6'3", and you are entering the league as a guard, which you have to be elite at either shooting, ball handling. It can be done. Let me look at Kyrie. But this is like I'm shocked that this wasn't more of a thing. People pointing out because 2 3/4 inches or whatever it is very significant.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Brunson, Steph Curry, listed at 6'2", likely 6'1".
Yeah,
Donovan Mitchell.
sure. And in a league where guards are at that position are getting bigger. Look at
Mhm.
Luka, Shea's 6'6".
Agreed.
No, that for the record, Mark Cuban would absolutely. This is something Cuban would do. He would absolutely draft Bronny just to either have that as like a trade piece at some point. If like another team, he would draft it to get LeBron. And LeBron, you put LeBron. Granted, he may have one more year left in him. You put LeBron in Dallas right now. It's pretty gnarly. That's pretty gnarly. Like that. Even if you're just getting like a couple games of series where you get vintage LeBron, that's pretty nasty. And he's been quite complimentary of Luka, like they're kind of buddies. So I would not count this out, but I don't think LeBron's just going to sign with the team, even though that's the chatter, just because they drafted his kid. It's weird. It's like strong arming the league into drafting his son, which is exactly what it is.
That is,
and as a dad,
yeah.
I respect it.
Is what it is.
I really do.
I don't know. Are you happier if this happens or if like his kid gets a job in the front office at like a VP level? Like I'd be happier for this to happen because like talent and results will pan out a lot quicker than somebody's kid getting put into a VP position too soon. So like I'll take this nepotism over any other because like you're gonna get exposed.
Absolutely. And then finally, in NIL news, a $2 million NIL deal for Great Osabor from Utah State, the Mountain West Player of the Year, headed to Washington, the Huskies. $2 million, has 1 year of eligibility left, so $2 million for 1 year.
This is a confirmed number?
That's what they're saying.
Wow.
I think it says two things. Obviously, the money for Washington heading to the Big Ten is massive. The Big Ten basketball is, significant, but it's not, we're not talking, what would we say the best conferences are right now? ACC, Big 12, whatever. That's part of it. But you got to think this means the numbers for some of these other players have to be so absurd and out of whack that like him getting $2 million is just insane.
So, do you want to know the highest NIL? So I think that's the highest for basketball. Do you want to know the highest?
Or like reported and like publicly known? Yes.
Publicly known, yeah. So Shedeur Sanders, 4.6 million. Livvy Dunne, 3.9. Bronny James, 3.7. Travis Hunter, 2.7. Arch Manning, 2.4. Quinn Ewers, 1.9.
So the Arch Manning thing, he hasn't. I think that's just an NIL valuation.
That is correct.
Okay, because he hasn't taken a dime of NIL money. He did one deal with that trading card company and raised like a couple $100,000 and donated it. So yeah, this is just a valuation, I guess. So that take it for what it's worth.
Yeah, that's from On3.
Yeah.
So that is their valuations on
Shouts to
NIL.
them, home of Mike Roach.
Oh,
And there's
Mike.
a kid who just committed to Oklahoma. He was a defensive tackle from TCU, and he put his name in the portal in this last transfer window, and he took advantage. He was like Had he gone out in the first window when there were more defensive tackles available, he probably would not have made nearly as much. I think the number he made was like 1.2 million from Oklahoma, which is a number I don't know if that's confirmed or not. But he basically took advantage of being like, it was like a scarcity play. He's like, all right, I'm clearly the best defensive tackle available this late in the process, and so he just absolutely took advantage of it and played the system and got paid. And he's a good player, but he's not a $1.2 million player.
Crazy,
That brings up
man.
a tremendous point. Read a story on that the other day. That's a widespread thing. So he's an example of it. Coaches talk about it all the time as well, that there's going to be fewer players available in February, more money available late in spring. I've got it queued up for, a week where we need it, talking more about the upcoming like ACC likely realignment. But there was recently a conference of just football operations directors from colleges, and they're talking about like they're just waiting on the moment that a lawsuit comes down regarding paying players from the past and how the NIL will change. So thank you for bringing that up.
All right, let's run it back.
Run it back to the segment during which we talk about what we already talked about. Kendrick Lamar and Drake are beefing.
Crazy.
Xander laid a baby turd on the back nine at the Wells Fargo on Sunday. Michael Block is plus 500,000 to win the PGA Championship. Jay Day should have hit us with the Panama hat. Mizzou has a fantastic journalism program. And finally, KJ apparently has a Pittsburgh accent. And that concludes Run It Back.
Can I do some little overtime real quick on golf hats? A guy.
What you got?
Only if you do it in the
real quick.
accent.
You heard of this
Only-
Jesper fella? You guys ever? Well, I'm going to pull the right one here. You guys got this Jesper Olovic candidate? You know who the hell I'm talking about here?
Nope.
This guy's fucking hat game is sick. And I think if you find Jesper, Parnevik, Swedish fella, because his primary photo is exactly what I think you'd be expecting from a
Jesper Parnevik?
the Heisenberg hat. Jesper Parnevik. His hats are fucking sick. Let's bring that look back.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a noted.
Very European hat.
Noted Euro fits on the golf course from Jesper.
Tell me he's
very
not
European.
problematic.
No, not problematic.
Thought you were about to say
man.
like
The
I'm
only
like,
thing problematic was the way you said his last name and his first name, for that matter.
I was very confused. I was trying to type it in, and I was like, "What's
What
this?"
are you talking about?
Famously introduced Tiger to
Jesper
his first
Parnevik.
wife, Elon.
I think it's Jesper
Ugh.
where he comes from.
Jesper, yeah.
Okay.
Jesper Parnevik. KJ, so cute when he talks golf.
Whatever. Fire ass hats. If you hit images on his Google search, the first hat is whatever hat we were talking about Dave in Nordstrom with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I wanted to make
that's the hat I want to see Jason Day in. Good shit. All right. Well, we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.